For those who don't know, the GPU and the CPU are essential components for the computer. Because they are man-made, they are a cultural resource. We use these items daily, whether we know it or not. Before we start with the video, I would like to talk about what the shortage of these components are. Semiconductors were the first thing to be in short supply of. Because GPUs are made of semiconductors, GPUs are also in a shortage. These events have occurred due to many events like factory fires, trade wars between China and USA, the Russia-Ukraine war, and etc. Because of these events, prices of CPUs and GPUs have soared up to a point where it is literally almost a luxury to have a GPU in your PC. Not many people know this, but semiconductor manufacturers are the biggest polluters within the electrical industry. In the manufacturing process, companies like Intel and AMD use a lot of water and create tons of hazardous substances. Unfortunately, hazardous substances pollute the environment, which means that CPU manufacturing is not sustainable. This also applies to GPUs. This also means that changing to a renewable source of energy will not help the current situation that much. This is bad because we create eco-friendly items with these, like electronic cars. Overall, the process of manufacturing these electronic items can cause serious environmental issues. The most obvious consequence of the shortage was the higher price in PCs.
Guys, I've got $500. What can I buy? Oh.
Many of us, including myself, probably have a PC that is either on the lower end or old. If you are one of the lucky people who do have a new PC, then you've probably paid quite a fortune for it. However, many electronic items also increase in price. Things like cars and clocks have jumped over in price because of the semiconductor shortage. This means that if the shortage continues, we could see less and less electronics being sold to the public. The automotive industry views the electronic hardware shortage negatively because the lack of hardware makes manufacturers unable to make cars. This causes higher car prices, thus causing a decrease in purchases. While most automotive manufacturers are looking for more factories to supply them with their much needed semiconductors, it seems that the shortage may need some time to recover. The AI industry, especially big players like OpenAI and others, view the shortage negatively because they lack GPUs. GPUs are needed in order to teach the AI how to behave and, more importantly, have code for the AI to even work. Without the GPUs, companies like OpenAI will have to slow down their development so that they do not run out of money buying GPUs. The public, especially developers, gamers, and people who genuinely need computers, will be the ones who will probably dislike this shortage the most. Most people from doctors to engineers need computers in their everyday lives. Without a GPU, people can find their computer very slow or hard to configure. For the next few years, we will probably have less and less computer sales unless something revolutionary appears out of nowhere. I view the shortage negatively. I fit into the public because I play games and use a computer on a daily basis. Unless the prices of computer hardware goes down, high-end computers will be really hard to get. These items are sustainable enough to use, but not sustainable enough to make. The only thing we need to change is how we produce these items. If we can eliminate the use for water and the result of hazardous substances, we are able to make computers eco-friendly.